social and racial justice. It's a constant effort.
Tomorrow and every day we celebrate the legacy of Dr. King and the sacrifices he made to make America better, even this world better.
Atrocious start shooting the basketball. Been able to knock down a couple of threes. Nice pass inside, another beautiful. Wiggins, Caruso, Wallace, and Jang on the floor. This might be the first time this lineup has played together in a game this year. As the Nets just firing away from deep. Get an offensive. And Caruso. Sometimes that just comes down to reading the defense. And there was all kinds of space below that screen initially set. Another three for Brooklyn.
Well, they're not a post-up team, so they like to go, from that three-point line or mid-range. They haven't been able to get inside to create very many of those opportunities.
Wiggins tried to get in the post instead. Lost control of the basketball, and there's a hard. And Brooklyn is battling here after trailing by as many as 27 points. As Wallace
And it was called on the ground, but certainly it's made a little bit of a run here with those three-point shots. Started knocking them down there at the end of the first quarter, carried over into the second.
One of the reasons why able to climb back in it, but there's some good ball movement set up. Iwoma with the finish. Jay Will. Another nice pass set up here to the cup.
Yeah, and he did a good job of selling that move too, like he was going to go all the way to the bucket. And at the last minute found Casey Wallace along that dunker slot.
Johnson
almost like he was a chameleon.
Very sneaky. Caruso, he was camped out in the corner waiting for that pass.
Well, man, a lot of times when you're attacking like that, you got to move the defense. And the defense has to respect you when you're trying to drive the ball too. In all fairness, so you're just waiting on that man to open up on those drives to the basket, which has really served the Thunder well.
Caruso, very good on
in there and take contact. Wilson's already knocked down a couple of threes to jumpstart the Nets offense.
Jalen Wilson out of Kansas as Wiggins maneuvers, and somehow, even with the Brendan Claxton, who's a good shot blocker.
Yeah, sure is. A lot of times, they're doing a good job of not letting the defense know what they're doing with the basketball. And Clayton is one of those guys you got to do that with because he's a terrific shot blocker.
Russell snaps it across the baseline. Not that time for Brooklyn. But a tap out leads to an extra 14. Johnson dumps it off. Claxton. And that's going to be enough.
University of Arkansas, folks, so it's carried over to his professional career.
Braced himself, too, at the end there. And Jay Will doing it again. Second consecutive. Playing that productive type of basketball, that joyous type of basketball that you see from Jay Will on a nightly basis. And you just cannot underestimate how important he is to the chemistry of this young Thunder team.
Well, and he's such a... His play a couple of nights ago in Dallas was just tremendous. He was very physical, and he frustrated the Mavericks. Had a lot to do with why the Thunder had a 20-6 advantage in second chance points.
Caruso took a bump. Now he's got to catch up to the play. And there's another bucket. So Tosan Iwoma has got 2 buckets for Brooklyn.
And Jay Will does a good job of forcing the bigs for any team to come out and guard him because they just can't camp out in the paint. So he adds another element with his skill sets to do it against that big front line of the Mavericks. Thunder also out-rebounded the Mavericks on that night as well.
And John the game. He's got an excellent stroke out of North Carolina. First few years with Phoenix. Wiggins. Close out on him, tried to dump it down to Caruso. A lot of traffic. Jones, not close. Taken by Jay Will.
Ball, but just hung around. And he's got a nose for the basketball and a nose for the game.
And the action from behind the arc. 6 threes. As Jay Will stripped. Ball pops over, Caruso diving for it. Martin able to come up. And Casey Jackson Wallace read that beautifully. Now Caruso all by himself. He'll get it.
Expecting something to happen. Didn't know that was going to happen.
Caruso getting rewarded for diving on the floor. He was last one up the floor. And so then Casey Wallace said, don't worry, you just stay right back on the other end.
Absolutely. That's just a great play, a great read. You know, for a second-year player, you know, he's really got a high IQ for the game and a nose for the basketball.
There's so much of the things that require effort. Wiggins, a little bump there, bounced off of Iwoma. And 40 feet
I can make it.
On the bounce.
Probably not at the pro level, but I can make it in the church league all day long, man. All day long.
That'll be a goaltend on a
tool in their tool bag where the defense just doesn't know what you're going to do.
Already 5 assists for SGA. Jay Will getting more and more comfortable. Back iron shot, no good. Dort, who's always sticking his nose in there for the rebound. Shea got that double team. As Dort trying to pierce the defense. It'll be Wiggins' turn, spinning away, trying to go glass.
Of any athlete.
Hey, they're elite athletes.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it.
Tremendous training goes into that. And he's just got great body control around the basket.
Jay Will, good defense, standing tall, kept those arms up straight.
But to happen on both ends. That kind of play.
Past the halfway mark. And the Thunder, certainly, to Mark Daigneault's point, better now than they were at the start of the season. As SGA rips, the more they continue to play together, build off of what they've done in the past, it's going to make them even more formidable.
Well, and you know, at some point in time, this inexperience becomes experience. And certainly he pointed that out about how they've been able to have more in there along the way that may not have as many years. And it just fit like a glove. And that's where I think, you know, guys like Isaiah Hartenstein has really, you know, been a big part at the midway point of the season with only 7 losses. That says a whole lot about guys locking arms and staying connected.
On both ends, has his second made basket here. As Wiggins trying to break him down off the dribble, just goes right at him.
And he got exactly what he wanted out of that, a finish at the rim.
Some aggressiveness from Wiggins, who's got 6 points off the bench. 2 minutes left to go here, first half, and that's a classic foul that Russell all here. Russell, again, lost it on the way up. He went with the right hand. SGA surveys. Spins away, takes a bump, and had the body.
Just continues to in points in consecutive seasons because the defense is loading up on you. They know when you play the Oklahoma City Thunder, the one guy you got to apply most of your pressure to is number 2 in that dark colored jersey.
It's hard to do it for one season.
Yes, absolutely, Barton. Thank you.
He's doing it again despite him being at the top of ski. But that's just what's so important. SGA, he's seen every kind of defense, all kinds of different defensive players. Defender, not the block. Word on the street is that's not part of the scout.
Oh, man, come on, man. Come on now. You hit below the belt here. You talked to the guy that got 77 steals in one season. Paris Lawson just said in the pregame show. Pregame show is always on a half hour before tip, folks. And Paris Lawson, Royce Young, they do a great job of hosting that show. And they said in the pregame show, Michael Cage had a season. We had 77 steals.
Those are the ones that Gary Payton, Nate McMillan, Percy Hawkins didn't get. Caruso, he got close. Final few seconds here of this first half. It's been a one-sided half. Johnson, that was a pass. That's right.
Yeah, it was a pass. But, yeah, he's going to get 2 points for it. How about this? Nice little splitting of the double team. One of the hardest working guys in basketball, SGA. They've had one of the top 5 toughest schedule through the first 41 games. Also, folks, gets a little bit easier on the back 9 of the final 41.
Russell almost turned it over. Tough shot by Williams, fading away, and you're going to get a loose piece.
in terms of wins, losses in the living room because I knew I'm leaving shortly.